I'm Sherilyn Skolnicki, and this is Brilliant Balance, the show for working women who are ready to shine. Each week, I bring you ideas, inspiration, and insight on balance, business, and getting it all done gracefully. You ready? Let's be brilliant. This is episode 188 of the Brilliant Balance podcast. And today I'm asking, what are you really waiting for? Because so many of us are waiting, right? We're waiting to do something that we feel called to do or drawn to do or meant to do. We're saying, one day I'll do this, or someday I'll do the thing. Or maybe your frame is, after this happens or when that happens, then the path will be clear for me to do it. And in the meantime, we're just waiting. Waiting and waiting and waiting. We're waiting to make the decision or to make the move or to do the thing, whatever the thing is for you that swirls and twirls around in your mind all the time that you think, I really want to do this. I really want to take this step, but it's not time yet. And that's what I want us to dig into a bit today for lots of reasons. The biggest one is that it really is the thing standing between us and whatever it is that we want. This opposite of just do it, our addiction to waiting, to having to think about it, to pondering it more, to sitting with it, all of those delay mechanisms that we give ourselves permission to do. We let ourselves off the hook and we say, it's just not time yet. I do want to do that. I do want to think about that. I do want to try that, but not yet. And that not yet can stretch on forever. And so if you're listening today thinking, I know what my thing is, and I know I'm not doing it, and I'm waiting for something, I want to share with you 4 things that came to me this week that we might be waiting for, sort of metaphorically, and how they are getting in our way of getting whatever it is that we actually want. Because our lives today are perfectly designed. They are perfectly designed to deliver the experience, the results, the attitude, the mood that we're actually having. And if we want something different, something better, something bigger, something softer, whatever it is, we're going to have to do the thing. And I want you to really get underneath today why you're waiting, why you're really waiting. So let's talk about these. I sat down to think about, all right, what are we really waiting for? As I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of women over the last decade or so, many of whom will, cross paths with me and say, I really want to do this. I'm just not ready yet. What really is going on underneath it? So there's 4 things that I'm going to share with you today. The first is, might you be waiting for a permission slip? A permission slip. Are you looking to get a free pass from any potential judgment? This is where the what will people think demon kind of rears its head. So if you consider the thing that you want to do, and the question that comes into your mind is, oh, Lord, what will people think? What will my partner think? What will my mom think? What will my sister think? What are my colleagues going to say? What about the kids? If we are stuck not doing the thing, because we are so worried about the judgment and that is going to land on us as soon as we make a move, then what we are really waiting for is a permission slip. We want someone, whoever it is, whose opinion matters to us, to tell us, it's all good. Go ahead and do it. I'm still going to like you. I'm still going to love you. I'm still going to respect you, but go ahead and do it. Now, whether or not that permission slip is ever coming remains to be seen. Okay, somebody listening might take this as an actual tool that you can use to say, I'm going to need to go have a conversation with this person whose opinion I really respect or whose judgment I really fear, 2 sides of the same coin. And I'm going to need to have a conversation in which they essentially do give me that permission slip. And that may be the thing that gets you unstuck. Someone listening is thinking that permission slip is never coming. I know it's not. And if I really want to do this, if I really want to make the move that is the most authentic to me, then I am going to have to figure out how to do this without the permission slip. So it could go either way, but I think this is one that truly is the thing we're waiting for a lot of women, if we're honest, is we are waiting for someone to give us permission. Second thing I think I hear a lot of people waiting for is what I'll call an empty plate, right? My plate is too full. I cannot possibly do this thing right now because I would be adding it to an already overflowing plate. So what I really need is I need time to stand still for a while. I need that to-do list to stop growing. I need no one to need anything from me so I can create this perfect window with nothing in it except time and space to execute this change, to do this project, to take on this thing. And I will tell you, that is definitely not coming. That one I can tell you for sure is not coming. So if you ask yourself, what am I really waiting for? And you keep saying, it's not time right now because I'm so busy. I can't do this yet because I have so many other things on my plate. If you are waiting for an empty plate, my friend, that day is never coming. I will tell you a little story. 4 or 5 years ago, gosh, I think it's been 5, we moved our family from one home to another. And we moved kind of unexpectedly. We found a house we loved and we're like, that's it, we're going to move. During a massive change in my business, we were undergoing just a really tremendous period of change. And my husband was traveling 5 days a week out of town for work to another city, 5 hours away. Friends, there is no perfect time, right? That empty plate is not coming. If we would have waited and said, okay, we're not going to execute this move until he's back in town, doing work locally and my business has quote unquote settled, that's not coming, right? Or if we would have said, oh, the kids have too much going on and we can't do it in this season, that day is not coming. That empty plate is simply never going to appear. So that's one that, again, I really hear a lot of people grappling with, and it's not going to happen. So we're going to have to figure out how to do the thing. We might be able to create some space on our plate, some additional space. We might be able to shuffle some things to the side to let this go front and center. But the empty plate idea, it's not happening. Do you ever find yourself saying, I just need a minute to breathe? While the whole idea of meditation can sound totally intimidating, I've found that stepping away from the chaos of life, even just for a few minutes, is incredibly restorative. So if you're short on time, but could use a few moments of peace right about now, listen to my 5-minute meditation for working moms. It'll help you clear your head and come back to your day feeling centered and refreshed. Head over to brilliant-balance.com/breathe. Press play and settle in for a few mini moments of peace right now. All right, what's the third one? If you're finding yourself saying, like, I'm just not quite ready yet for whatever the thing is, you might be waiting for a push. Someone or something to make you do it, right? You want it to be somebody else's decision. So you can say, well, what choice did I have? Right? I had no choice. This was my only option. This is often a mechanism to get past the fear or the weight of responsibility. So when we know that it's our choice, we made that decision, we're going to do that thing, we have to take the responsibility for that choice. And that can feel like a heavy burden. It can feel crushing sometimes. So we sit and wait for someone or something to force us to do it, right? This is an example would be, I don't like my job. I don't like my job. I don't like my job. You go for a year, 5 years, 10 years, just saying I'm not in the right job, but you wait to get laid off. You wait to get fired because then, okay, I had to go find a different job. And the choice was no longer with you. The burden of that responsibility was no longer with you. It was someone else's decision. And so that push can be the catalyst that gets you in motion. However, it may have been 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years later than it could have or should have been because we're waiting for that push, from the outside world to make the decision for us. So this is one I see a lot, is it is heavy to take responsibility for the choice, to say, yeah, that was my decision. I wanted to do that. I chose to do that. I stand with the full weight of the responsibility on my shoulders, and I'm doing it anyhow. And so sometimes, depending on the kind of decision we're trying to make or the kind of action we're trying to take, we'll really wait a very long time for there to be an external push. And candidly, what seems to be in the midst of that often is a lot of suffering. There's a lot of suffering, feeling like there's nothing I can do about this. I can't do anything about this. I just have to continue to bear it until someone else makes me make the move, right? So we talked about a permission slip is really where we're having a fear of judgment and we're waiting for someone to give us permission so we're confident that they're still going to like us or respect us. The second one was an empty plate, and this is where we're so worried that it's going to take us under with the crushing demands on our time that we keep waiting for the space to clear, not realizing that we have to clear the space. It's not coming. And the third one is we're waiting for someone or something to make us do it so we don't have the responsibility. And here's the fourth one. The fourth thing we could be waiting for is probably the most prevalent. If I think back to all the conversations I've had with women who said, something needs to change. This life is just not going exactly in the direction that I want it to go. I am confident that the path I'm on does not lead to the life I really want. What they're waiting for before they make a move is a crystal ball that lets them see the future so that we know for sure how this will work out, right? This is our mechanism. The crystal ball is the mechanism to eliminate all the uncertainty and all the risk that we feel could be associated with this decision, with this choice, with this path, whatever it is that we want to do. The crystal ball is what would tell us for sure that it's going to work out. We want that ability to see into the future and to know. And if we knew for sure that it would work out in the way we intended, we tell ourselves, well, then I would have all the permission that I need. I would have all the momentum on my side to step forward and to do the thing, to make the choice, to make the move. And here's the thing, much like the empty plate, I can tell you for sure there is no crystal ball. There simply will never be a way to eliminate all of the uncertainty, all of the risk as we look into the future. I think it's actually part of just the journey of life to build a tolerance for that uncertainty and that risk so that we can allow the adventure to unfold. So magically fun steering through that adventure, through all of its twists and turns and ups and downs, that if we had the crystal ball, it might not be as fun as we thought it would be, right? It might not give us what we really feel like it would give us when we're standing on the front end of that uncertainty. So because the only way that you are going to stand in your brilliance and truly fulfill your potential is to do the thing, whatever the thing is for you, I know it's going to require you to go after something or to follow something or pursue something that is calling out to you. Because that is my biggest dream for you, I want you to really have 2020 vision on these four things that could be in the way, right? When you feel yourself stalling, when you feel yourself resisting, when you feel yourself saying, I don't know if it's time yet. I don't know if I'm ready yet. I don't know if I can do this yet. I want you to challenge yourself and see if you're unconsciously waiting, really waiting for one of these things we talked about today. Are you waiting for that permission slip? For someone to tell you, I'm still going to love you. I'm still going to respect you even if you do this thing. Are we waiting for the empty plate, the proverbial elusive empty plate where time stops, the world stops spinning, all of our responsibilities are temporarily taken away so that we can devote our full attention to this thing not coming, right? Are we potentially waiting for that push so that we don't have to bear the weight of the responsibility of choice? Or are we waiting for the crystal ball, the perfectly clear view of the future of how this is all going to work out. And of course, if any of these things are what we're waiting for, we need to figure out how to do it anyway. We need to figure out how to sit with the uncertainty, sit with all the other pressures and demands that are on us, to sit with the perspective of judgment, to sit with the weight of responsibility and make the choice anyhow. That's not always easy. It's not always easy, but it is necessary. And it's really where, having some guidance, having some support, having some people cheering you on can make a massive difference. We do this work every day with all kinds of people, right? All kinds of people. So if you want to talk about that, if you want to talk about how do I get out of this swirl? I've been thinking about this for so long, and how do I get myself into gear? That's our work. That's the real work within Brilliant Balance, is having the chance to be a guide for women who are ready to do the thing that makes them feel fully alive and positively brilliant, right? We're all about helping you explore those possibilities and chase those dreams. And I'll tell you, you're never going to feel fully ready. But if you're feeling that nudge, you're feeling that magnetic pull start to increase, it's a great time to talk to me or talk to someone on my team and see if we can help you get it in gear. It's so fun to watch those wheels go into motion and to watch the dream start to become reality. Best thing I get to do. Scheduling link is on my website. It's at brilliant-balance.com. Super easy to find, or in the show notes. And it's real easy to find a time and have a chat. Also, if you got something out of today's episode, would you take a second to rate the show or leave a review? It means so much in helping other people find this show when there are ratings and reviews available. It's part of the algorithm. And so if you would take 1 minute out of your day or 3 seconds to just rate the show, it would mean so much to me. Even better, share this episode with someone who is ready to get unstuck. They're standing at that starting line thinking, I don't know if I'm ready to go yet. You know who that is in your life. Just send them this episode and say, take a listen. And I would be so grateful to you for doing that. That is all for today, my friends. Until next time, let's be brilliant.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.